Hi, everyone. I am here with Marcella Marcum, and she is a breast cancer survivor. She is a friend of mine and a really good friend of one of my other friends, Dawn Taylor, who is behind this whole breast cancer awareness campaign that we're doing this month. And Dawn will be sharing her story as well, and probably doing some other things on throughout the month of October. But Marcella, you were diagnosed with breast cancer when?
I believe it was 2019 in November.
In November of
Mhm. Yeah.
2019. Okay. And how did you come to discover that became aware that something might be wrong?
Actually, like you'd said, Dawn and I have been friends for quite a long time. And when I first
Mhm.
met her, she was having breast cancer events, which made me very aware of myself.
Yes.
So I stayed pretty much on top of that. I found the lump myself just
Uh-huh.
one afternoon in a bath and was like, that don't belong there.
Oh, wow.
So, when I found it, I immediately went to Alan, which of course is my better half, and
Mhm.
told him I thought I had found something. And the very next phone call was to Dawn. And
Wow.
and it all happened so fast within finding it to, yeah, it was so fast.
It was so fast. Now, what did you decide to do? Was it large or was it small? I mean, was it did it what did it for a lot of women, I think a lot of women don't know what it would feel like. Did it just feel like a
Well, it
bump
was,
or
well, it did. And see, I'm very small chested. So for me, something odd, I'm going to find
yes.
it right away. And I was actually just like taking a bath and went to wash it under my armpit and brushed up against the bottom and was like, is there something there?
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And I was like, no, no, no. So I laid down to do the breast exam and couldn't feel it, but I could feel it when I sat up. So
Okay.
it was just so close to the very front that unless I had to wait on it, I couldn't feel it. But it was, yeah, mine was an invasive carcinoma,
Okay.
and mine was growing so rapidly. Because I had told my doctor, I said, there's no way that could have been there very long. I said, because I would have felt it, I would have known it was there. He said, no,
Yeah.
ma'am. He said, cancer grows at different rates,
Hmm.
sometimes 10%, 50%. He said, yours is growing at a 99% each cell. He said, it's not
Wow.
been there more than a month. And had you not caught it in a month, we'd be telling a whole different story. So I was,
Wow.
yes, blessed by the good Lord that when I found it, I caught it. It was,
Yeah.
I think 10 centimeters, and I was like, wow. But yeah, that that's how I
That's
found
just
mine. And
awesome.
like I said, it was so fast from then. It was like on a Sunday night. By Thursday, I'd done been to the doctor, was in having my mammogram, having my biopsy by Friday, and was scheduled the following Monday for my port. It was so fast.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So had there been a history of breast cancer in your family at all?
None. Absolutely zero. And when I say zero, there was no cancer in my family at all. So
Oh,
when
wow.
this happened to me, my whole family locked together. And
Yes.
my first initial meeting with my surgeon, there was 19 people there. It was my
Wow.
whole family just they cupped me up and away we went. It was
That's
great.
awesome. That's I mean, that's wonderful to that
Yes.
you had all that support there to around
Yes.
you, to surround you. When you were told that it was aggressive, that word, it's a little bit scary. So how did that, what thoughts, do you remember what you thought at that time?
Well, I remember saying, okay, since it was all new to me, I hadn't been around anyone that's even had cancer. I really didn't know what to expect. So I didn't have anything to compare it to. But I
Uh-huh.
do remember looking at him and going, okay, so what are we saying? He said, well, we're going to move. I was 50. God, I don't even remember. I'm telling you, to me, it's just like they say, it was a phase in my life. But I was in my mid 50s
Mm-hmm.
when this started, and he said, you're healthy. We're going to hit it like you're a 20-year-old. He said, it'll be
Okay.
hard and aggressive treatment. He said, but
Right.
what you having is aggressive cancer. The bad side to it is, yes, it's very aggressive. He said, but the good side to it is that's where the chemo does its best, is against
Okay.
your fastest growing cells. He said,
Okay.
so it will work better than anything with this. And it truly did. I mean, it
Okay.
just 4 months of chemo and 21 rounds of radiation. And yeah, it worked amazingly well for me. You know,
Yes.
I didn't know what to expect. My
Uh-huh.
downfall was I didn't want to know what to expect. And a lot of people want that knowledge before going in. And me, I was like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to dread the next time I go in. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Just let
Hmm.
the progression happen as it happens.
Right. Right. You just went through it just one foot in front of the other.
Yes, just swinging from the hip. But like I
Swinging
said, I
from
had
the
a
hip.
large
Yeah.
support team swinging from the hip. I
Yeah.
had a daughter-in-law that never missed one appointment, not a shot, not a doctor's appointment, not a chemo, not a
Wow.
radiation. She was there every step. She made sure that she took her babies right with her. She was there every step.
Wow.
Parents
That is
with
amazing.
every treatment. Yeah, I mean, I had a huge support team, and I couldn't have went through what I went through as easily as I
Yes.
did. They never let me get down on myself. And
Uh-huh.
it was just for me to tell my story. I guess mine's a little different from most people. Oh, it's horrible. But it was a journey
Yeah.
that I can't say I enjoyed, but I can't say that I didn't. It was a
Right.
journey that I lived, and I'm glad I got to live it. Uh,
Okay.
that's just the way I look at it.
Now, what other options? I know that well, we know that Dawn had a double mastectomy. I
Yeah,
know that it's three other women that have shared their stories. They all had to have double mastectomies.
yeah,
And you chose a different route, correct?
I did. I
Okay.
did. Like I said, I'm naturally very small breasted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was given the option.
Mm-hmm.
It's your choice ultimately, but the doctor looked at me. He said, I can save your breast. He said, I can hit it with this chemo and it will shrink it. He said, and then I'll just go in and move some tissue around. He said, and I believe you'll be great. He said, but it's so totally up to you. And I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought, well, if I wanted big titties, this is not the way I want to get them. So it's not the way, I mean, I want to get them, I'm going to get, okay. So I was like, no, if you, I said,
Hilarious.
if you, I was like, he said the same thing. He laughed. He was like, okay. I said, if you can fix
I
it,
know the surgeon. I went to school with it.
Doc Thompson, oh my
Yes.
gosh. I'll tell you, he is a
Yes.
hoot. He is a
Hmm.
hoot. And
Hmm.
that's what he told me. He said, I can save them. He said, you'll never even have a scar. And
Oh, wow.
it was amazing what he did. I mean, the size difference I can tell, but
Hmm.
there's not a scar. There's
Okay.
I look just like I did before it happened, other than I'm just a little bit smaller on one side than the other, which most women are. And
Hmm. Right. They're not, yeah.
so I don't have all that went with having complete mastectomy with the reconstruction. I did not have all that.
Didn't have all
Um,
that.
yeah. So I chose the
Because,
treatment and I went that way.
well, I know that from the other women that I've talked with, the one of them in particular, well, two of them actually had issues with the reconstruction part of
Yeah.
it. It doesn't always go as planned,
Mm-mm.
so
No, it
uh
doesn't. I weighed my options and I thought,
mhm,
and they told me, said, if this works, which, at that moment in time, it's if this goes in and works and you make it to your 5 year mark, there is a 97% chance yours will never come back
mhm,
because of the type that it was, which is better than a hormonal or a hereditary, because mine was
yes,
not hormonal or hereditary. So mine was
right,
just kind of a fluke of nature, had no reason, no rhyme, shouldn't have been there. And
right,
so, yeah, in that aspect, I can say I was very blessed that, yes, it was aggressive. Praise God, I caught it in the very
yes,
beginning stages of it, but they alleviated it. I mean, it was
that's
my
amazing.
whole round trip was almost a year from beginning
Yeah.
to the very end, and then you're on a 5 year watch. So, yeah.
So are you at the end of the 5 years almost?
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, I graduated last
You are past it. It's
November.
2019.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2019. So of course you're past it.
Mhm.
Well, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, do you still go in though and do you obviously still do
Yes, ma'am.
mammograms and that sort of stuff? Okay.
Yes.
And do you have to see you don't have to see your
Nope.
doctor or surgeon, anything else? Okay. Well, that's
No,
good.
it completely cut me loose from everything, but it is reassuring to go
Yeah.
once you get your blood work done, a total blood work done. That way, you know if they see anything, it's elevated or not, whether to follow up. And for
Yeah.
me, I
Yeah.
mean, I would never expected that the first time. So the
Yeah.
fear of it being there again is just something you live with, like, this may happen again. You can't never tell.
Well, I think that every woman, because so many, I know of another lady that I'm doing tomorrow, and she went in for her regular mammogram and was sitting there, and she had no clue and they called her immediately, called her back afterwards. They asked her to wait and called her back, and there she went down that thing, just immediately found out. So it seems to be, but I think that every woman that goes in, I know I just had mine done recently, and thankfully it came back clear. So it's you're waiting. You know that if
You're
they don't,
waiting.
yeah, if
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't say something right away, you're
Yeah.
probably
Don't look at me.
okay. But
Yes. Don't
until you
put me
get
in the
that
room.
yeah, until you get that letter in the mail, though, that says all
Yes.
is clear, it's kind of it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Yes, it is.
It's like it's just in the back of your mind, and it's like I know that when I go, it's like, okay, whatever happens, God, I know we're gonna get through this. Whatever
Mhm.
happens, and I didn't go through that, but I went through something similar in 2011 where I had to have a hysterectomy, partial hysterectomy. They
Yeah.
took out mostly everything, but my ovary was the size and density, my left ovary was the size and density of a grapefruit.
Wow.
Yeah. So they had to test that, and they
Mhm.
couldn't give me an answer until the pathology
So, wow.
reports came back. So you're like, and then they come and they tell you, okay, you're no cancer. So, but it's like you're at that waiting game, and you really, I think those moments are when it really, our faith, our
Yes,
trust in the
and that's
Lord,
true.
it just comes to the front. It just front and center, and you just know
Yes.
he's got you no matter what. And
Mhm.
so, and I know that that was the case for you when
Wow,
you
it was, yeah. To me, knowing from the moment I found it, I knew what it was. And of course, and I
mm,
was like, don't panic, don't panic. I said, no, I'm telling you, it doesn't belong there. I'm in my 50s. I've never had anything. This is
yeah,
serious. I knew it was from the moment I
yeah.
found it. But to wait and know it and know it, but then for you to get the call, I was like, oh, I'm well prepared. I know this is what this is. And I remember standing at work by myself. She goes, do you want to come in or do you want to hear it over the phone? It was a holiday weekend. They'd made me wait another day. And I said, no, I'm fine. I mean, I already know the answer, but go ahead. And when she said it was positive, I felt myself slide down that wall. I mean,
Oh,
just to hear it, even though you think you're prepared,
you're not.
slid down that wall and sat in the floor immediately, text Dawn and my daughter-in-law. And I was like, I mean, it gives me chills to think about it. When she
Yeah.
called and said it was positive, I just went, oh. But at that point, you look at everything different. I mean, I remember sitting in Taco Bell's front little thing watching tractor trailers drive by. And all you can think of, how many times will I get to see that? This is nothing to me. This is nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
But you
Mhm.
visualize, you get everything just overwhelmed, overwhelmed, overwhelmed. And
Everything
then
changes.
yes, you back tread and you go, I'm grateful for everything I've had. I'm
Mhm.
grateful for everything I will be or
Mhm.
continue to have. And you just
Yeah.
get on that train and you ride it till you get off. That's
Yeah.
what it is. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm on a train I can't get off of. So you get on it,
Right.
you go.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no options here except to go through
There
the
is none.
finish line.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go get depressed. I'm not going to go. There are a few things I wish, now that I know that I was stubborn back then, I had listened to people like with the chemo. So important to be hydrated. Hydrated, 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 because it has to flush that out of your system. And me not wanting to listen to anyone. And I honestly, when you go to a doctor and he
Mhm.
says for 2 hours tells you what's going on, the only two things you come out remembering is cancer and chemo. You don't
Yeah.
remember anything else they said. Those are the only things you remember.
That's why
And
it's good to have somebody with you, I guess.
exactly. And
Mhm.
I went in not hydrated like I should have been. And your body suffers long-term suffrage, for stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that's the only thing, if I could preach to anyone, is make sure you're hydrated. Drink, drink, drink. And if you can't drink, make them put an IV bag on you. Get that stuff, let it do its job and get it out. And
Yeah.
that was my biggest regret, is not doing that. But other than that, I really, I have no complaints. I had, like I said, I was encaged in love through my whole journey. So I didn't feel any of the depression or the sadness or anything
Oh,
like
well,
that. I
that's
just
great.
took each day that was given
Mhm.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way you said that, each day that was given to us.
Each
And
day.
every day
Mhm.
is given to us, isn't it? We do take
Yeah,
them for granted. We do take them for granted
we
a
do.
lot of the times. So, the chemotherapy that they did on you,
Yes.
it was really, really strong, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes. I had two separate kinds. And 2 months of one. It comes, what it is you'll get, some people do it opposite, but this is the way they did mine. You will get, they call it a red devil. A lot of women have it,
I
but
thought that was,
it's a 10-minute push, and that is the strong stuff. And what this does is it'll go in and it like sterilizes the cancer
mm,
cells. It means they cannot reproduce. And then the
okay.
second stage comes in and kills the living ones. So
Okay.
what you're left with, like me, I was left with, they put a marker where the tumor is. They put a marker, and there's just tiny little piece of metal that they go in and insert. So like with me, it worked so well, they couldn't even find where it ever was. So they had to hunt for
Oh,
the marker just to go in and clean up.
oh,
And
wow.
yeah, mine was completely obliterated. I did opt for radiation only
Uh-huh.
because I was scared if even just one cell was left somewhere that,
Sure.
it would come back and I wouldn't catch it in time. So I did opt for the radiation. Um, the radiation wasn't bad until about my, I don't know, probably 15th, 16th trip. And then I started noticing a rash. But other than that, it
Mhm.
didn't hurt. It's painless, but the radiation wasn't bad. It just, by the time I got finished with the chemo, my body was breaking down, which I told
Yeah.
them, I said, "Man, I'm breaking out in hives. What is going on here?" I was on so many steroids. I was blowed up like a big muscle man. But they said, well, your body's breaking down. You've got two more treatments. If you can survive the next two treatments, meaning I can say, yes, I can take it. And I told them, I said, yes, I will finish this trip. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering why this is this and this and this. So yeah, by the time I was finished. I was
Yeah.
like, let's not
Yeah.
do this anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I said, it was just a journey. And
Yeah. Well, I remember you had the positive. I know that your immune system was obviously the chemotherapy compromises your immune system and
yes,
things like that. So I don't think that I visited with you or saw you or came around when you
yeah,
were going through that. And that was on purpose because it was
no,
like, it was, I didn't, you don't want to contaminate or be take that chance. You had to be very protective of yourself and such. So,
yeah.
um, but I knew that it was called the red something or another,
It was the
and
red devil. Yeah,
Red Devil. Okay, I was
that's
thinking
what
of the
they call
dragon, but
it.
it was
Yeah,
a Red Devil. Yeah, so
it's it's a syringe about that big. It's red juice, about this much, and it takes them 10 minutes to push it into your port, and they're covered in chemical suits because it's that strong of a chemo, and they just stand there and talk to you and push it in, and when it's done, it's done. Where they watch your heart rate, make sure you're good and everything through it. I didn't, that I know of, I had never had any trouble. The only, which they don't do, they include it with the chemo now. I had I had to go back the next day after my chemo, and they would give me a shot that would boost the growth of my red blood cells, white blood cells, one of them. And that shot made my bones ache so
oh,
bad. but it was just where it was stimulating them, making them to grow. That to me was the worst part of it all, was when I get that shot. Oh my gosh, within 24 hours, I was just like, I hurt so bad. And wasn't nothing you could do about it, but ride it out for a day and it'd go away.
Wow. Wow, that's something else. So, is there anything else that you can think of that you would want to share that you think would be important? Because, hopefully all kinds of women are going to watch this, you know,
So I hope so.
and the thing about people's stories is that everyone is a little bit different,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like to know that you're not the only person that's going through something. There may be things that you felt or you experienced that someone is sitting there thinking, I don't think anybody's gone through this before, and that
Oh, yeah.
reassurance of
Oh,
knowing that they have. I think that, but is there anything else that you can think of that you might want to just say? You said the hydration part of it. Um,
hydration is so important. The hydration, yes. Make sure that you're very hydrated when you go in and you're very hydrated when you leave. Like I said, if you're incapable, like me, I couldn't think I could drink enough. They put an IV bag on me while I was there, and it
okay.
helped tremendously.
Okay.
I mean, you can request
Okay.
it, they cannot deny it. It is,
Okay.
your oncologist will be like, yeah, do that if you don't think you
Do
can
that.
drink. That is a big one. I
Mhm.
worked through my entire deal. I would have chemo on Mondays, and
Wow.
I was fine until about Tuesday night. And then I would start crashing and I would go down for about a day and then I would go back to work. And I would, I mean, I'm self-employed. So as far as I didn't have a quota or I didn't have a time clock, I did what I
Right.
could do when I could do it. And, but
Right.
as far as losing the hair, I lost all that. That
Oh,
is a
sure.
big scare for most people. And I remember just before Christmas, my brother Tim, we were going to the mall to go shopping and having a little beanie on my head and hat up. And he goes, Sis, have you started losing your hair? I said, Yeah, it's starting to come out a little bit now. And I kind of stuck my finger up in there just to pull a couple of hairs out. And I brought out this wad of hair and I just looked at him. Well, I suppose it's time I go get my head shaved. Because at
Oh,
that
wow.
point, it's really just, it's a mess. You can't, I mean, it just at that point was a mess. That was very emotional, was having my head shaved.
I'm sure.
It was probably one of the most emotional things that I went through was having my head shaved, but it wasn't, I didn't care. I mean, it wasn't that it was, this is my progress. This is my journey. This is the
Yeah.
step that you go through. But it was, as for most women, that would be the biggest thing. But it was,
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
I didn't miss. I mean, you lose hair everywhere. I didn't miss any of the rest of it.
Yeah.
I just missed the hair. I didn't miss the rest of it. It's all gone.
Just remember that when it grew back in, you had the cutest little hairstyle. When it grew back in, you had like that little pixie
The
thing
little pixie
going
cut.
on, and it was the cutest thing on you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never visualized Marcella with short hair, but it looked really, really good.
Everybody said, Marcella, your hair looks so good. And I'm like, no, 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 no. My dad has late stage dementia now, but he didn't then. And
Uh-huh.
when I lost all my hair, he would just sit and rub my head. He'd say, Marcella, you've got the roundest little head. I knew underneath all that hair it was round, it wasn't flat.
It's so
Every
funny.
day he just rubbed my hair, but I remember that with my dad. So that
Yeah,
was that was neat. I have pictures of
that's
me
fun.
on my dad sitting there in a chair next to me, him and my mom. I said, the
Mm.
support group is huge. Don't go into this going, I can do this by myself, because you absolutely can.
Mhm.
But you have no idea what that, even just a little bit of support will do to boost your morale. I mean, you
Yeah.
can do it yourself. I wouldn't recommend it for nobody. I didn't have to.
You're
Um, when I had my last chemo treatment, I think there was 35 people showed up at the hospital.
hmm
We all had shirts. I mean, it was great. And
I
I
know.
got the banner. It says, I didn't do it alone, and I
Right.
didn't.
Right.
So uh, support is a
Yeah.
big thing. If you don't have it, there are so many places out there that will give it to you. I didn't opt for wigs. I mean, I got some. I don't know.
hmm
I liked my little do rag on my head, but I didn't. I just wasn't one, and you would be surprised. I mean, when I didn't have any hair. I would be sitting somewhere and someone would walk up to me and go, "How far are you into your treatment?" Or "How long have you been out of your treatment?" I mean, when you see someone like that, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was touching." So,
Yeah. Do you know what you mentioned at the very beginning of this, how you had participated in some breast cancer
yeah,
awareness campaigns with Dawn? And I remember the one we did before you were diagnosed was the boxing ring. And you
yeah,
actually, yes, we
I was
converted my
cancer.
gym. We converted my gym into a boxing ring. You remember that? And then we had
Yes,
like,
yes.
yes, we had I forget which one were you?
I
Because you
was
got it,
cancer.
you were cancer.
I was cancer. I was the bad guy. I was
Oh my
cancer.
goodness. Oh, you were cancer. You were the bad guy that everybody was trying to knock out. That is, I forgot that, Marcella. I
Yes,
did. I
so
forgot
funny.
that. I think
Yeah.
the highlight of my day was being able to get Dawn on the floor and they were filming. I was making her do push-ups.
Yes. Oh
And
my
I
gosh.
kept saying more, more, more.
You was doing you was working hard. You were doing
I
you.
know. It was like she was like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Oh, that
that
was
look, I think
so
we need to
funny.
do that one more time.
You need to try a little harder. I think you got
It
a few
was
more in you.
funny. Sorry, I'm laughing so much, but it was funny. We did some really good stuff with that. What we're hoping to do though is, there's not anything happening in our community now for breast cancer awareness other than, you know, well, the run that she's participating in is in London, Kentucky. And
Yes.
so what she's doing is some of the proceeds are going to be delegated to go back to the Just About You business that Marty
Yes.
Masters runs. That is, it's a caring place for women with cancer, and they have everything there. They have, I mean,
Yeah.
did you go in there?
I did. I went in there. I got a couple of do rags. And like I said, I didn't do the wig thing very,
Right.
very much, but no, they're amazing ladies, absolutely
Yes.
precious ladies. Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
And their
I
story,
thoroughly enjoyed
yeah.
my trip.
Yeah, their story will go out. It's probably out before this one because I'm going to
Yeah,
kind of do a sequence thing. But there was a mother daughter. They went through cancer at the same time. They both got
unreal,
diagnosed
isn't
the
it?
same week. Yeah. Yeah.
Unreal. Their story was unreal. I know that the hospital, Morristown Hamlin, the year that I was after my treatments,
Uh-huh.
um, they contacted me and asked me if I would they were dedicating October the 19th to Think Pink Day. Uh,
Mhm.
and the city actually, I mean, it's a day. It is
Yeah.
Think Pink, October the 19th. And they had contacted me and asked me to be their guest speaker. And I about
I
passed out.
remember that.
Yes, yes,
I
I went up
do.
there. Yes, I did the big speech thing, and they put me on the front page of the paper, and I've got that deer in the headlight look on the front page of the paper. But it was it was great to see that
Yeah.
my doctors had all got together and said, out of all your patients, which one do you think would be represent? And they all. I asked them, I said, how did you even
Mhm.
come up with me? She said, well, we went to all of the oncologists, the radiologists, and the surgeons, and we asked them. She said, and your name was in the top three on every list. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love my doctors.
Wow. Well, you know what? You've got a super story,
Yeah,
and
like I said to me,
every cancer survivor story is a super
it
story.
is.
It is. And it's like you chose, I think though, the thing that sticks out about me is that for you is that you chose not to do the double mastectomy.
Yes.
You chose to do, what do they call a lumpectomy?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you
In my
chose.
official paperwork, it says partial mastectomy, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was a lumpectomy. I mean, he literally
Mhm.
just belayed around my
Mhm.
areolas, laid it over, and just went in, put it back. I mean, I have no scars. I have nothing.
That's
It's all
awesome.
the only scars I have is my port actually went in through my armpit, so I don't
Okay.
have this scar. Yeah,
Okay.
and I have a little scar here where he took out the
The
lipnoid. Other than
place.
that, that's you would never know.
That's
Yeah, well,
awesome.
a little tattoo where they do your radiation. It's just the
Yeah.
dots where they mark you. But other than that, no, it was like I said, it was a journey for me.
Mhm.
Um, and I sit, and my daughter will say, "Mom, you're a breast cancer survivor," and I go, "Was I?" Yeah, because to me it was a journey I went through. It was an experience that I had, and I'm so grateful for the family that carried me. I mean, they carried me, and I just smiled through the whole thing. I just said, "Okay, let's do this." But that was
Yeah.
all you can do. You just
That's
if
just
you
so
see,
awesome.
yeah, it's great. But yeah,
Yeah.
I got to go back.
Yes, you do. It didn't
Somebody
take you
coming
long to
back.
go back. I remember that when you went, because your hair came in a different color,
Oh, it
uh
coming dark.
really dark.
Real,
Yes, and it
I had
was,
been blonde my whole life, and when it come in, I was like, "Well, thank God it ain't gray."
yeah.
So yeah,
I remember one lady that hers came in, and when hers came back in, and she had salt and pepper hair, and it was curly. It was
wow.
really curly. And then after about, I'm gonna say a year, it wasn't curly anymore. It just, and
Well, that's what they said. Oh, it'll revert. No, mine stayed dark. I now
she did.
use a dark. I do not like it dark at all. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but no, I mean it's just all new hair growth. New hair growth is always dark, unless you're a
yeah,
baby or a toddler.
right,
But
right.
yeah, yeah, it come back dark. I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad it wasn't
yeah,
gray. I was like, I'm 50 something years old and it ain't gray yet. Go me.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
converted to light because I have gray coming
I
in, and
think
it
it's
was like,
beautiful.
see, well, I used to have it this way when I lived in Atlanta, but I switched it. Well, I switched it I was dark when I moved back here in 2003. So,
It
yeah,
suits you very well, that color.
that's what everybody says. I don't know what
It
made me go
does.
dark. I don't
Yeah.
know why I did that. But anyway,
Go back to
um,
the light
I know,
side.
right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, can you think of anything else before we go? Can you think of anything else that you'd like to share?
And no, just that if someone is facing a journey, it is scary. It is scary. It's very unknown. As long as you've got a good support team, keep informative it, and just move forward. Like I said, you're on a train. You cannot get off
Mhm.
of. So you ride that train, you do what you're told to do. From my experience, it was I never doubted that I would not come out the other end. Never doubted.
Right.
It was I am going to be okay, and this is just a phase, and that's what
See,
I
I
how I
think
was
that your
feeling.
attitude, I think that your attitude, your positive attitude, the positivity, the reinforcement that you had around you, and
Yeah,
just all that reassurance, I think that plays a big part in how people go through the journey and how they come out of the journey as well. So,
it does. And like I said, knowing Dawn and knowing her for the amount of time that I did, and knowing that she brought that to the forefront, so I
yes,
was very aware of it and very thankful for her because
right,
had I not had her as a friend, like I said, no one in my family had ever had this.
right,
I would have been totally oblivious to what I was facing. So
right.
she truly helped me from beginning to end.
Well,
And
she's very passionate. She is
mhm.
very passionate about bringing awareness to it. And because she was young as well
Yes,
when she went
yes.
through it. So she's just very passionate about it. And I just admire her so much for it.
Oh, me
And
so. Yes,
she and I have had the best time doing this stuff. And we didn't do anything for a couple of years. And I'm not sure exactly why we didn't, but I'm glad she's back on the bus of wanting to do these
yes. And I mean,
campaigns. Yeah.
yes, she is
Yeah.
really, really pushing forward with this. And I mean, like I said, she's got that spunk. She's got
Yeah.
that go-to, gonna go. Me, I'm more than happy to help in any way, but I guess I just don't take that next step forward and go, okay, I'm going to do this. But she
Yeah.
does, and she's
You
great with
don't have to step
it.
up. She'll drag you in.
You coming with
You-
me, girl? Come on.
Yeah, she
But she's
calls me
good
and
at
she goes, "Hey, we need to go have breakfast like this week." And she goes, "I've got some things I want to talk to you about." And she said, "Bring a notepad."
it. could
So
see her
you may
saying
walk
that.
out and it's like, okay, here we go.
I could see her saying that. Yeah,
Oh
she is
yeah.
very, and how she finds time, I do
I
not know,
know.
but
I know.
she makes time.
She
So she's a
does.
great
She's
girl.
she's got a heart for it. So, well, okay. Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you so much for sharing and
Well, thank
participating in
you.
this
It
year's
has
camp.
been great.
Yes, I
So,
know.
and
We
you look
all need to get
fabulous.
together. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. I'll see you later. Okay.
All right. See
Bye.
you. Bye, girl.
Bye.